Load regulation is a rigid demand in many places. We support 3 methods within our system. The first is automated handling of demand response for power consumption. The second is based on electricity price strategies. Automatic processing will occur. The third is automatic adjustment according to your configured schedule. This will be automatically applied. Currently, the integrated adjustments we support include several companies. Of course, if you have additional requirements, we can also establish connections. Once you've configured everything here, our system will automatically receive signals from these companies. You can also configure the electricity price. Select the electricity price region you are in. Once you've configured this, we will display it inside this area. The day-ahead pricing and the real-time pricing curve here. After configuring these settings, you can create a task. There are 2 options. One is to switch the operating mode, to stop mining or resume mining. Of course, you also have another option, controlling smart sockets. It's relatively uncommon. Let's switch the working mode then. Let's configure it. First, you can choose to set it by time. For example, I choose to stop mining at 9 o'clock. And then resume at 10 o'clock. Once you confirm, the system will automatically execute the stop at 9 o'clock, stop the load and resume it at 10 o'clock. Then you can set whether to repeat this action every day. This is by time. You can also set it according to the electricity price. For example, I choose the daily electricity price. If there are 2 periods, that is to say, if there are 2 consecutive hours with a price greater than 90, I will stop mining during this time. If there are 2 hours, more than 2 hours with a price less than 80, I will start it. This is daily pricing. You can also use real-time pricing. The settings are the same. You can even use nested settings. That is, pay attention to both daily pricing and real-time pricing. Such settings are also configurable. You could also employ compound regulation signals to trigger actions automatically. This refers to the compound response signals you've configured. For example, the signals from the compound response. The following steps are quite simple. Once you set up the triggering method, you can proceed to choose which miners should be affected. You can select by model, or by sub-account, or by IP address range. Usually you might select all. But for electricity prices, it might only be a portion. Let's select one as an example. Then you choose. During power reduction, what working mode should it switch to? And what working mode should it switch to upon recovery? We also have an anti-wake-up function. That is to say, we will assist you throughout the entire load regulation period, no matter how others try to restore the miners to, even if it's in a hash rate state. As soon as we detect it, we will immediately switch it back to sleep mode, ensuring that the miners has no load at that time, or a sufficiently minimal draw. These are the guidelines for dispatching commands. For example, when issuing, we don't want all 5,000 miners to be lowered at the same time. At this time, there may be some safety issues with electricity usage. So you can use certain rules for staggered deployments. For example, 500 machines per batch. Then, issue the commands every 20 seconds. This approach is more secure and reliable. When load increases, we can also make similar adjustments. In this case, we can proceed more gradually. This ensures greater electrical safety. With this in mind, we can create such automated tasks for compliance. Here are some examples below. These are various compliance tasks. When these tasks are known to trigger in advance, they will be displayed in this status chart. It shows when a task might trigger, whether a task will trigger or is currently active. Then, you can set up alerts. to notify you when this signal is received. It can be set to run 15 minutes before execution, or after completion. I'll get notified via email or Telegram. This way, we can monitor the entire process, from start to finish. We'll have full awareness of the situation. If needed, in case of emergencies, while it's running, we can also terminate the execution. All execution and trigger records can be found within the system. Here are the trigger records, triggered by electricity prices, or triggered by conforming to the adjustment signal. And these are the actual execution records. You can see when it was scheduled and executed, and how it was triggered. It also shows how much load was adjusted at the time. Click here to see the status of each miner at that time. We also provide an export function based on electricity price intervals, providing load data and corresponding electricity prices. It's an export function. For example, you can choose to export based on 15-minute electricity prices within a certain period, the electricity price for each 15-minute interval, and the corresponding load at that precise moment.